Hello everyone, welcome to Lukman IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 27th April 2021. So let us see which are the important articles in today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles for mains purpose and for prelims purpose, and in the end we have added some COVID-19 related developments and international help that is pouring in the country to deal with this COVID-19 pandemic second wave. So let us take overview of all these articles first. Unfair and dangerous. So editorial page number 6, it is talking about the recent decisions or changes being done in national COVID-19 vaccination policy in phase 3 of this vaccination drive of the country. So the analysis there, it is talking about the resulting vaccine inequity from such changes in vaccination policies. We will understand that from governance perspective, GS2 paper and COVID-19. Okay. So like next, undermining vaccination for all, again on page number 6, editorial page. So this article is having the same context, recent changes in the vaccination policies and resulting vaccine inequity. However, this article is going in depth, elaborating with all these arguments supported with some facts. So we have to also understand these facts here and take input and way forward, we can say, regarding this vaccination for all for COVID-19 vaccine or COVID-19 disease. Next, COVID-19's let's say triage challenge. So on page number 7, OPED page, it is important article. It is discussing the triage principle that is used by medical fraternity whenever there is let's say crunch of resources available with them and prioritizing of the COVID-19 patients is required at present situation. So the article is very important. When we talk about the ethics paper, GS4 paper, we can expect such case study here, prioritizing COVID-19 patients according to various, let's say, nature of disease they are facing according to triage principle. So we will deal with this particular topic, try to understand what is this principle here, and we will try to also deal with one case study here. Next, India ranked 49th in CGGI, Chandler Good Government Index. So this is released and India is ranked 49th in this particular, let's say, index here. So from indices and reports, UPSC generally asks such questions in prelims examination. So we will have follow up on this particular index also. Okay, let us go into details of all these articles. First article, unfair and dangerous. So the recent changes being done by the central government in phase 3 of national vaccination policy for COVID-19. And what are these changes? Let us try to understand first. Okay, in this phase 3 of national COVID-19 vaccination, vaccine eligibility now extended to all those above 18 years and above age. Okay, so this is good thing. Now we are moving towards vaccination for all, we can say universal vaccination. Those above 18 years, all of them are eligible to get vaccine from 1st May 2021. However, there are some caveats here. That means we can say that the central government, however, will continue to provide free vaccines to all people above 45 years and let's say age and above. However, the remaining population, young population and vaccination to this population, it will be responsibility of state government as well as the private hospitals. That means now the vaccine manufacturers given freedom to sell 50% of their vaccine production to the state government and private hospitals combined, and remaining 50% of the vaccine productions, that quota will be dedicated for the central government. Along with that, the price differentiation, that means whatever the central government quota we have here, the capping of the price 150 rupees for Covishield, that will be continued for 50%. However, for remaining 50% of the manufacturing or those quota for state government and private hospital, these vaccine manufacturers will be free to decide the prices here. And accordingly, recently both Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech, they have declared the prices for this 50% of vaccine production to the states and private hospitals, and that will be higher than the central government's price. Okay, this is how we have to understand it will result into vaccine inequity. Okay, so why it is going to result into vaccine equity? Forcing states to pay more than what union government pays for the same vaccine will lead to vaccine inequity, because we know that the finances of the state at present, states are let's say lacking those finances at present, and therefore along with that some states are progressive states, they are having more revenues, other states are not having that much revenue, and therefore there will be competition among the states and the competition between states and private hospital to get those vaccines from these vaccine manufacturers in that 50% quota. So there will be competition. Surely those states which are not having enough resources, they will be lacking or lagging behind this competition, and because of that there will be automatic vaccine inequities. So the population in that state, especially above 18 years and up to 45 years, those let's say population will not receive the vaccines at the earliest stage, while other states will be providing these vaccines to their population. This is how the inequity will be there. Now with vaccination being the only safe way to end the pandemic, leaving such large chunk of population outside the vaccination or unprotected will cost the country enormously in terms of lives as well as livelihoods. So it is impacting both lives of the people as well as livelihood. Economically also it is impacting. Okay, at the same time, ultimately the containment of the COVID-19 and mitigation measures becomes even more difficult because of such policy decisions. Okay, so in this manner you have to understand how it is going to impact, or we can say create vaccine inequity in the country. So when vaccine inequity is threat to goal of vaccination for all, comment in the light of changes made to national vaccine policy in recent times, right? So yes, such kind of, let's say, arguments you can keep prepared in your notebook, in your notes. Try to mention all these things. Along with that, some facts are also important. Now further moving to the next article, which is having the same context, we will add some more points here. Undermining vaccination for all. So again, from governance perspective, COVID-19 pandemic, so health angle, vaccine inequity, context is same. Now facts. Yes, as we know that those above 18 years of age and up to 45 years of age, the responsibility of vaccination to this group of population lies with state governments now and with the private hospitals. So we can understand that this is going to result into, so this particular population is 600 million population, and those above 45 years is 300 million, right? So this is how we have to understand that the larger responsibility now lies with the state governments and lower responsibility with the central government. However, when we look at the resource position or revenue available with the central government is more as compared to the state governments, and therefore this should have been reverse case, or we can say that the central government should have taken the responsibility of vaccination to all people. Okay, along with that, at present, the present situation, nearly 142 million vaccine doses have been administered in the country, the third highest in the world at present. However, in terms of population share, only less than 2% have received both vaccine doses, while less than 9% have received one dose. This is the situation at present. Along with that, the prices of that 50% quota for the state government and private hospitals, the prices have been declared by the Serum Institute of India and the Bharat Biotech also. They are for state government, SII, Covishield 400 rupees, and for private hospitals 600 rupees respectively, while Bharat Biotech's prices of Covaxin vaccine at 600 rupees for state governments and 1200 rupees for private hospitals respectively. Okay, this is the present situation, and in addition to that, the grant of 45 billion rupees to these two vaccine manufacturers is given by central government to boost their production capacities, vaccine production capacities. That means on one hand, the people's money or taxpayers' money is being used to fund or provide grants to these vaccine manufacturers to produce more vaccines, and whatever the produced vaccines are there, they are being sold at higher rates in the market to the private hospitals and state governments. That means these companies are making profits by selling such vaccines in the market. So this is not correct, or we can say that this is against the principle of equity. So this is being, let's say, argued here in this article. The same kind of situation is there in US also. So US government subsidized or provided grants to vaccine manufacturers. Along with that, there is liberalization of vaccine market in US. They are allowed to sell the vaccine in the private market also. Along with that, the vaccination of significant section of population depends on financial health of state governments, result into inequitable access to the vaccine across states. Some of the progressive states, like we can say Kerala or southern states, they will be easily vaccinating its population. Some of the northern and, let's say, eastern states, they will not be able to vaccinate their population because of lack of finances, right? So yes, the remaining points are same here. What should be the way forward? The article is saying that there should be increase in vaccine production, and more companies should be allowed for production of this vaccine. For case of Covaxin, now 3 of such PSUs, public sector undertakings, have been given the responsibility for vaccine production of Covaxin. This is good thing, or the, let's say, it is in positive direction. Along with that, it is also saying that central government should take responsibility of vaccinating for all. Okay, so it should not be resorted to the state governments. This is the problem here, because there will be unequal access to the vaccines to people living in different parts of the country, and this is against the vaccination for all, or in general it is against the equality principle that is to be followed here. It is against social justice, we can say that. It is against social justice, because this 1200 rupees per dose, or we can say that for 2 doses 2400 rupees per dose. Yes, in that particular population group 18 to 45, many people will not be able to pay for that much amount. Okay, so this is the problem here, and this will lead to inequitable access to the vaccines. Okay, so both article, first and second article combined, try to take inputs here, some facts, changes in the policy, and then analysis and some way forward. Okay, yes. Now, yes, this is important, COVID-19 triage challenge. So what is this triage principle we are talking here, and along with that, how it is implemented by the medical fraternity, doctors at present in dealing with COVID-19 situation. Okay, so prioritizing the treatment to COVID-19 patient. What is this triage principle? Let us try to understand this triage principle first, because this is important from ethics perspective also. So this triage principle says that when there is crunch of resources available, these resources should be used in a prioritized manner in treating all these patients. This is called as triage principle. Okay, so whenever we are talking here the triage principle, the ultimate aim is common good. The ultimate aim is the common good. That means those which are requiring, or we can say wait for the treatment, those who can wait for the treatment, they should themselves wait for the treatment, and the resources should be allowed to be used for the other patients which require them in urgent manner. That means it is where the interest of everyone are put above the interest of individual, that is common good. Along with that, it is based on the principles of justice and solidarity, right? Justice and solidarity. So those who need care first are prioritized over those who can wait, irrespective of who they are. Now this is very important, irrespective of who they are. Now at present we can see many of the, let's say, sports person, famous personalities, actors, actresses, they are given the priority in those private hospitals for the treatment. They are being given the beds also, or we can say first class facilities are being made available for them, while the poor people are denied these services in such situation. That's why we are talking about the triage principle. In such hospitals, irrespective of the status of that person, be it civil servant, be it minister or any person, they should be provided, or let's say the prioritize those who need the care first, they should be prioritized over those who can wait. This is the important, let's say, aspect of this principle. It works when there is social consensus on level playing field. So social consensus is very important in implementing this particular principle. Basically, this principle was first introduced by Napoleon's military surgeons to treat battlefield injuries, and very impactful, or the outcome was very impactful for such implementation of principle, right? So along with that, we have to also understand serious triage doesn't only prioritize the sickest over the less sick, it also discourages futile treatment for the very sick who are unlikely to benefit from the treatment. That means, suppose there is one person for COVID-19 treatment and he is in the final stage of cancer, and suppose there is one other person, young person, who is also facing the problem of COVID-19 severity, but there are more chances of living of that person when the priority treatment is given to that person, that young person. Okay, so that's why here the priority treatment is given to that young person instead of the person who is facing the cancer here, or he is in the final stage, because even after providing the treatment to this patient, there are less chances that he is going to live for longer life. This is called as triage principle. Okay, this is very important. At the same time, the person who gives up the bed does it with understanding that when she really needs it, she will get it. Okay, this is called as a solidarity or common good principle, and there is, let's say, presumption that we are doing this for common good or larger welfare of the people. Right. Now, what are the challenges in implementation of this principle in India? First thing we have to understand, there is already a social triage based on class, caste and other hierarchies in everyday practice in India. Okay. So accordingly, these are being made, let's say, obstacles, challenges in implementation of this policy or principle. Social triage based on class, caste, rich, poor. So surely the private hospitals, they focus on rich people because they are going to pay them. Poor people will not be able to pay for the treatment. So this is how there is problem in India in let's say making these healthcare facilities accessible to all. Right. Along with that, caste factor, religion factor is again making problem in dealing with let's say COVID-19 pandemic, implementation of this triage principle. Next challenge is, whatever the severity of the crisis, it is hard to imagine the determined and neutral state in implementing such strict triage. So the state being important player in implementation of this triage principle, neutral, let's say, role being played by the state is very difficult in such situation. That's why it is also a challenge that the state should play a neutral role in implementing a strict triage policy. And lastly, given the current dominance of private sector in health sector, the triage has to involve state control over private sector. Okay, so state control over private sector is very important in implementation of this triage policy. This is how we have to take input here, COVID-19 pandemic and the ethical aspects involving in treatment of this disease. Now, what kind of case study we can expect here? Very simple, because yes, this is the new kind of aspect that has come into the news in last 1 year, triage principle. We are expecting such case study this year 2021. There is one hospital in the metropolitan city of the India. During the peak of COVID-19 pandemic, it experiences surge in the number of COVID-19 patients being admitted in the hospital. As new patients keep coming in, there is pressure on limited resources available to the doctors in hospital. Now, COVID-19 patients with following characteristics of disease are admitted. For example, 65 years old persons with COVID-19 severe disease, 30-year-old pregnant women, 22-year-old with comorbidity. This comorbidity can be anything like asthma is there, or bronchitis, or respiratory disease problem is there. 45 years old man with cancer in the final stage. If you are the chief medical practitioner at the hospital and head of the committee to decide on which patient are to be treated first, then what will be your order of priority of treatment to these patients and why? You have to also provide the justification. Explain the triage principle used to deal with such situation by the medical fraternity. Now, you can understand that from this particular case study, just now we talked about the triage principle. So, second part, explain the triage principle. So, you can take input from whatever the analysis we have done here, understood from the earlier part of discussion. Now, what will be your order of priority of treatment to these patients and why? Okay, so you can understand here that 45-year-old man with cancer in the final stage, just now we talked about this. Those who are having less possibility of longer life even after treatment here, even after treatment here. So, that person will be given last priority. Along with that, we can understand here the 30-year-old pregnant woman, that means she is carrying a child here, or we can say new life. So, the life is threatened for both women as well as child. So, that women can be given priority here, first thing. Second thing, we have to also understand that the 20-year-old man with comorbidity. Now, if he is or that person is treated, he is going to live for longer life. So, that person can be given, we can say, priority here. Along with that, 65-year-old person with COVID-19 severe disease, then we can say that he is already 65-year-old and facing severe disease. So, if that person is treated, the remaining years that he is going to live, less number of years are there. So, third priority can be given to that person and fourth priority can be given. So, you have to justify according to this triage principle here. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, this priority is there and we can justify accordingly this triage principle, explain the triage principle used by medical fraternity, just now the discussion that we have provided in this article. This is very much expected case study or such kind of question can be also asked on triage principle. Fine? Okay. So, ethics paper GS4. Now, specifically prelims related developments, India ranks 49th in CGGI. What is this CGGI? It is Chandler Good Government Index, Chandler Good Government Index 2021. So, India has been ranked 49th in this out of 104 countries in terms of government capabilities and outcomes. Now, it is based on 7 different pillars like leadership and foresight, robust laws and policies, financial stewardness. But yes, they will not ask these 7 pillars. Yes, this is given by Chandler Institute of Governance. Chandler Institute of Governance. Okay, and it shows the importance of investing in governance capabilities. Finland has been the first, or you can say ranked first in this particular list. This much information is sufficient here. Okay, And lastly, COVID-19 related developments and international help. So recently, the Ministry of Home Affairs has asked the states to impose localized restrictions and implement strict containment measures for at least next 14 days to flatten the COVID-19 curve. Along with that, one of the RBI article talks about amid the massive rise in COVID-19 infections during second wave, only way forward is speedier vaccination, ramping up health facilities and infrastructure, observance of pandemic protocol. These three, let's say, way forward is provided here by one of the RBI article. And international help, India, Japan, so two prime ministers of India as well as Japan, they had telephonic conversation and they said that or resolved to fight the pandemic jointly. Okay, along with that, they reviewed the ongoing implementation status of ongoing initiatives like Quad involving these 4 countries and pledged the complete bilateral development schemes. Okay, so this is very important development. Along with that, Indian Prime Minister and US President also held the telephonic conversation and reviewed the help that is provided by US in dealing with this COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so this is how we have to understand the international help being given by different countries to India to deal with this COVID-19 pandemic situation. Fine? Okay, so yes, these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Try to take input accordingly, very important, especially for COVID-19 related developments that are happening and the analysis of these issues. For further information on editorial discussion classes or ED classes, wherein in-depth analysis of mains related issues and articles is done by Ansari sir and team, you can contact Lukman IAS. Thank you.